Call the Village of Johnsburg, November 20th, 2018, regular meeting of the President and Board of Trustees to order at 7:02. On the roll, Trustee Curry. Here. Trustee Hagan. Here. Trustee Frost. Here. Trustee Clemson. Here. Stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry, please let the record show.
Any comments from the floor? Mr. Keel? Mr. Wallace? Mr. and Mrs. Devanch?
No.
There being none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the omnibus agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Curry, second.
Second.
Second by Trustee Frost.
He didn't raise his hand.
Yeah. Okay, Trustee Hagan. Okay. Discussion on the omnibus, anything that you would like pulled? With there being none, Trustee Clemson.
Aye.
Trustee Frost.
Aye.
Trustee Hagan.
Aye.
Trustee Curry.
Aye.
Motion carried. On the President's report, Trustee Curry, would you like to advertise, do a little promotion for Holiday Magic? We do have plenty of Christmas trees for sale at $50. If anybody's interested, they are beautiful, but I will let you from there. A lot of entries in the parade.
Do we have a lot now? I haven't heard the most recent count.
I don't know.
Okay.
Check with them. I know people are talking about it and buying lights and ornaments and things for their golf carts, so. December 1st, Mr. Wallace can buy a golf cart, come in the parade. But, no, so we're all set, taking off from the bank at 4:30.
And Wally World's golf cart. Okay, so we have plenty of trees to buy yet. They are beautiful. They were just cut Saturday, so for
How
Friday.
many are you bringing?
There are 25.
Were you guys splitting them?
Mr. Wallace bought 2. That's great. So we got 2 going for sure.
One for the patio.
Welcome to my world.
No, fine.
Did Mr. Quinn say?
Yes, he did.
Mansion tower.
Needles.
All right, on Saturday, was it, yeah, Saturday. Saturday was, former trustees, Lloyd Friend's birthday, his birthday party. So on behalf of the village board, myself, we presented him, and the staff presented him a proclamation, and I'll read it to you. He was very excited about it, and so was the folks at the birthday party, and it was, I had a copy of mayor, but it also had a hand in making sure that I had the right information, because I was probably this big when Lloyd was doing all this stuff outside of the trustee. Anyways, whereas Lloyd Friend is a lifelong resident of Johnsburg community, and whereas Lloyd Friend served as Johnsburg Village trustee and chairman of the Community Affairs Committee, and whereas Lloyd Friend was a volunteer and member of the Johnsburg Rescue Squad and the McHenry Township Fire Protection District, and whereas Lloyd Friend served in the United States Army, and whereas Lloyd Friend was a board member of the McHenry District 156 School Board, and whereas Lloyd Friend served as president of the Johnsburg Community Club, and whereas Lloyd Friend was founder of the Johnsburg Boys Baseball League and managed the Johnsburg Tigers baseball team, and whereas Lloyd Friend volunteered as basketball coach for St. John the Baptist Catholic School, and whereas Lloyd Friend served on the St. John Baptist Catholic School Cemetery and board of member of the St. John's Endowment Fund, And whereas Lloyd Friend was a member of the Catholic Order of Foresters, and whereas
Lloyd Friend has distinguished himself through his years of dedication and service to his country and the Johnsburg community. Lloyd Friend is celebrating his 90th birthday on November 28, 2018. Now therefore, I, Edwin Hederman, President of the Village of Johnsburg, do hereby proclaim November 28, 2018 as Lloyd Friend's Day in the Village of Johnsburg. It's the first time we've ever done one of those, I believe, but I think that it's a tough act to follow, so.
Busy guy.
Huh?
He's a busy guy.
Yeah.
Reminds me of someone.
But he also lived 90 years to do it, so. Okay, I want to just look at this because some feedback from you to give to the ordinance committee, and this is only for the reason I'm asking, because I think when we did the switch from ordinance from Greg to Mary Lou, we missed passing this on. I think I passed it on to you.
Okay.
You passed it back to Claudette, and it fell through the cracks.
Okay.
And it was.
Excuse me?
I'll take one.
Okay.
It's
but
Thanksgiving.
anyway,
It's Thanksgiving.
I know I passed it on to somebody, but anyways.
Probably was Kyle.
You know, Mr. Icorn had brought us to our attention, and he, in our ordinance, it says that the use of any power lawnmower, snow blower, snowmobile, or other noisy machine between the hours of 8 p.m. and 7:30 a.m. the following day, with the exception that use of said equipment or other motorized machines shall not begin before 8:30 a.m. on Sundays or at any time if not properly muffled. Okay? And so I just would like to have some input from the board so we can pass it on to ordinance, because it's been here since February 9th. So, and I just think that maybe we could hurry up a little bit, you know. So, I don't see how you control a snow blower when everybody goes to work at 6:30, 7:30 in the morning, so you're gonna have people using a snow blower at, what, 5:30? I mean, if you get a big snow. And the snowmobiles, you know, I don't know, we don't limit them that much. So, you know, I understand Sunday, Saturday and Sunday mornings, or maybe that is where people sleep in, and, you know, it shouldn't be before 8:30 or 9:30, but what do you guys think?
I agree that during the week, yeah. If you're, I'm out, I've got 80-year-old parents that live with me, so
Right.
I don't leave the house and leave 2 or 3 inches of snow in the driveway, and I leave for work at 5 in the morning, so.
Right.
So I go out there and I shovel personally, but still, you know, people are gonna be out there moving snow and.
You're gonna have snow plows and
Right.
all that kind of stuff moving around anyways, you know? So, I think Mr. Icorn wanted it to be more restrictive, and I think it maybe should be a little less restrictive.
No, he wants to be less restrictive.
Okay.
He's saying that it's unreasonable to
Okay,
have
Because
that.
people can't move snow.
Yeah.
It might be later at
And
night.
I agree with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people get home later.
During the week it's hard, you gotta
Yeah.
find the time you have to get it done.
And properly muffled, Steve, I mean, is that like factory installed?
I don't know, how do you do that,
But
Chief?
yeah, how do you
What's properly
determine that?
muffled? I think that's more for snowmobiles.
I don't have my small engine license, I'm sorry.
So, you know, what's the hours for snowmobiles then?
How many gas
I mean, if you had a winter with snow, you would probably have, I remember, I forget his name, he used to ride it when Adams Lawn and Leisure was in the corner there on Bay Road. He used to ride his snowmobile to work every day.
We had them at 2 in the morning all the time.
Yes.
Well, on the day.
On the lake, yeah.
Yeah.
So the pleasure of living there.
I mean, should it just, and plus you have,
Go to the yard and crack a beer.
in the wintertime, the windows are closed and stuff. It isn't like in the summertime where you have windows open, and then what are you gonna say on the lake? You can't have a boat out there making, you know, on this.
Lawnmowers, I think lawnmowers in the summer would be more issue, I suppose.
That's my best word.
Or
I can see a lawnmower
carnies, yeah.
on Saturday and Sundays,
Mhm.
and maybe even during the week. I mean, there's no reason. What I'm worried about is probably our people that mow the park being here at 6 o'clock in the morning mowing the park, we're probably in violation.
Want to make it consistent with what we allow contractors to do on our capital projects? I think we tell them they can't start till 7 a.m. and they have to be done by 7 p.m. without special permission, you know, and sometimes if they're paving, we tell them keep going. It'd be silly to
Yeah, right.
not finish the last 20 feet because it's 7 o'clock, as long as they make the village aware. So we should make noise consistent, because we can have contractors rolling down the street, pulling off equipment, sweepers, paving trucks at 7, and to me, those are much more, a little more noisier than a lawnmower or something, so just make sure that's consistent, that's all.
But then do you remain silent on the snow blowers, because clearly you're not gonna tell people they can't blow their driveways until 7
Because
o'clock
then
in
you're
the
gonna
morning.
get somebody to say, I needed to do this, I didn't do it because your ordinance said my parents slipped and fell, you know, it's
I
gonna get
think the
ridiculous.
snow blowers and even the
Should
snowmobiles
be
are
removed.
just remove them.
Take them out of there.
I mean, it's gonna be, what, 1 or 2 days a year, maybe?
Right.
And don't we have an ordinance already in the books about where snowmobiles, the time and the location
The
where
path, right?
can't ride?
You could talk about construction activity utilizing
That's-
power equipment
that's
and
right.
lawnmower.
Construction.
It
and
says,
limit it
in
to
the
that.
ordinance right now, it says, no construction shall take place between the hours of 8
Construction,
PM and 7:30 AM.
7:30, huh?
Yep.
Probably
With
7
the
a.m.
exception that said construction shall not begin before 8:30 AM on Sundays.
We tell them that, many of our communities, we don't allow construction on Sundays at all. I think that would be appropriate unless there's a really...
But you're talking about people at home, working on their
I'm
own
just saying,
houses, so,
yeah, I thought he was
yeah.
referring to construction section.
Yeah, you don't have to be nailing away at 8:30 in the morning, or having a builder doing something like that, that'd be out of control a little bit on Sunday, but snowmobile, people might even use it at night, because if you have commercial plowing service coming and plowing you out, and you're getting hit with snow, and you gotta get out. People work all different hours too.
Well, I think, you know, I'd just like to give some direction since it's been here for a while, and,
I
to
would
the
say
ordinance committee.
pull the snowmobile and the snow blower
okay?
out of there.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I think we probably need to change the construction start time to 7 a.m.
Right.
During the
sure-
week?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure everybody, I mean, that's like just the norm. Everybody starts at 7.
I bet if you looked at other ordinances, there's a lot of them that go 8.
Maybe on the weekends, so maybe.
Most are 7.
I would say every,
7, 8 on, 8 on Saturday.
yeah,
8 on Saturday and Sundays, I think, is what I've seen.
And then if you narrow it to the lawnmower, take out the last phrase, if not properly muffled, so that there's not a debate between our community service
Right.
officer and the perpetrator as to whether their lawnmower is properly muffled.
I don't know if mowing a lawnmower 8:30 AM on Sundays, I think Saturdays and Sundays, people are off. I mean, they don't have to run the lawnmower before 8:30 in the morning, do they?
So we leave the Saturday and Sunday as is, and just change the 7 o'clock time for construction and lawnmowers on weekdays.
I think
And
so.
remove snow blowers.
What if you have an electric lawnmower, can you use that whenever you want?
No.
Well, it's the problem, it's,
There's other ways we had to interpret that, too.
well, that's what I'm saying, is right now, it's, you gotta, that says properly muffled, which would not be.
We're getting rid of properly muffled, right? Isn't that what you guys agreed to?
yeah.
It's hard to debate, like Michael's saying. You don't know which is,
I don't want a muffled argument.
an officer, a community service officer won't know.
Well, we'll have that here. Okay. So we'll make those recommendations to the ordinance committee, let them hash it through it, and then we'll, just to try to move it along, because,
Bring it back before the board after that.
Chris Gregg dropped the ball on that one.
I was in the finance chair last November, but that's okay. I remember.
make up any stories.
I think that's true, actually.
You're right.
Okay. Anything else you want to add about holiday magic? Tom? Parade starts at 4:30?
Yeah, parade's starting at 4:30, and, do a little different this year, where we light the tree immediately, and then, get everybody in through the south entrance there, and people can line up to see Santa right away, do some arts and crafts, have some snacks. Have a little
Okay.
music playing.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. We'll do some meat blast, and I'm sure everybody will be there in their golf cart. If single wing people can drive golf carts.
You can drive.
Purpose of the other.
Gibson right there, Gibson.
Okay. We're gonna move, any other committee items that anybody wants to touch on, just to keep the communication open, that we haven't touched on? Would there be none? No, okay. Move to approve ordinance 18-19-18, amending ordinance 08-09-19, granting a conditional use permit to allow for an automated teller machine, ATM, as a secondary principal use, and granting a variance to section 11.5-3.1, front yards of the Johnsburg zoning ordinance to accommodate the re-wrapping of the ATM structure on the property commonly known as 3535 Richmond Road, Johnsburg, Illinois. I think everybody's seen it, right, and had a picture of it. It's the ATM at the Moose, and we would usually have two readings on this. I don't think we need two readings on this, because we are not going to have another meeting, two meetings, only one meeting in December, so rather than put it off, I think we could go ahead with approving it, unless somebody's got a reason why they don't think we should.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by trustee Curry, seconded by trustee Hagan. Any other discussion on the motion? With there being none, trustee Clemstein?
Aye.
Trustee Frost?
Aye.
Trustee Hagan?
Aye.
And trustee Curry?
Aye.
Motion carried. Same thing on the next ordinance. Move to approve ordinance 18-19-19, granting amendments to a previously granted variance to section 7.1-2, accessory buildings and structures, permitting the placement of an accessory structure on a parcel prior to the establishment or construction of the main building, to which it is an accessory for the property at 1606 Sunnyside Beach Drive. There was no objections to this. It went through planning and zoning. None of the neighbors have objected to it, and they have recommended that we approve it. So with that, for the same reason, instead of doing a first read and holding it up, because we only have one meeting next month after this because of the holiday, I'm asking that we make a motion and second, and then have discussion if you think it needs to, anything would come up that would be a reason not to approve it tonight.
So move that.
Motion by trustee Frost, second by trustee Curry. Any discussion on the motion? Okay. Trustee Curry?
Aye.
Trustee Hagan?
Aye.
Trustee Frost?
Aye.
And trustee Clemstein?
Aye.
Motion approved. Okay, move to approve economic incentive agreement between the Village of Johnsburg and Angela's Market. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Have a motion by trustee Curry.
I'll second.
Good night, Pam. Good night, Willie.
Good night, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'll second.
The second by trustee Hagan. Discussion on the motion. As you know, the work is in place and we're getting our landscape islands and stuff, so I think it will be a big improvement. So, any further discussion on the motion? With there being none, trustee Klumstein.
Aye.
Trustee Frost.
Aye.
Trustee Hagan.
Aye.
And trustee Curry.
Aye.
Motion approved. Designated use of monetary donations for holiday magic.
The committee members are talking, shop at the cop, do something local. I think we usually get like $100, $150 maybe, something like that. But, I'm open to other ideas.
Well, I'm not against it. I think, are we fairly well funded for shop at the cop, chief?
Yeah, year to year, yeah.
Year to year? Okay. So I would think the only other thing that's local that we are sponsoring, and it doesn't matter to me one way or another, but is that Jeeps on the Run, where the village is co-sponsoring, which is Toys for Tots. Okay. I know last year, they raised a lot of money. They weren't short in raising money, but they were short in different areas that needed money for Toys for Tots. So that would be the only other thing, but I think Tom's idea of keeping it local is a good idea.
And we do get some toys and things too, so maybe I mean, 'cause shop at the cop, they're literally shopping, right?
Yep, that's all cash.
Right, so what if the cash wants to shop at the cop?
Well,
and toys?
the lines usually do what, 200
Toys
a
for Tots.
person? Or is it 250?
250.
So it's 250 that they get to spend on their family. They get a winter coat, a winter jacket, winter boots, winter gloves, and 250 to spend besides. And then usually some of the Lions members even get generous.
And we try to cap it at 250, that includes their clothes.
Right.
The boots and the hat and the winter gear.
Right.
So we try to cap it at
But there was
250.
always, some of the Lions members, because they're buying underwear for their dad, or work gloves for their dad, or, you know, stuff for their moms, some of those guys sometimes throw in too, and it goes a little over that, just because that's the way people do it at that time of the year, I guess, you get that software. It's all good, so. What do you recommend, Tom?
I think we split it up and the cash go to shop at the cop and the toys could go to the Jeeps on the Run.
Toys for Tots, Jeeps on the Run. Okay. I think that's a good recommendation.
Do we ask for toys? I mean,
We do. Yeah, people bring toys or cash. Or nothing.
And that's okay too.
That is.
What do you do, just put a can out there and people throw money in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and do we have to track that anyway?
No, we've turned it in to Kim in the past, or to,
Okay.
Hard to tell
Mhm.
what's what in, right? So you can't always track who's putting what in, right?
sorry, there.
With the cash being, somebody throws a 20 and you're not gonna throw a 20 in, right? They're giving you a donation, or they're physically giving you guys a donation.
There's just a jar where they throw money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't know who's putting what in.
Well, yeah, no, we don't track like who does it.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
okay, that's no problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so, with that, that's, the recommendation. I don't think we need a motion on that. We know where it's going.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have anything else? Oh, we, maybe should just update everybody if you've been trying to call here or couldn't get through. Our phone system here is fried. It's 20-some years old, and it was donated to us originally when Carlins moved to town and built their new building, Langford. They donated the phone system, so, we're looking at a phone system, a new phone system to buy. Obviously, we gotta have phones to operate. Something that will be probably expandable, or it will be expandable. We've looked at just having a complete CompuFast service, and, but anyways, we have money in the capital plan to replace it. It's just gonna be replaced now, and it's something that we're gonna expand upon later, because they're out. We have the cell phone forwarding it, the numbers being forwarded to the cell phone so somebody can pick up. but it's only one line, so if you have trouble getting through and can't leave a message, that's because we're gonna try to get it up and running. So and we've been having trouble with the service for a long time. Call one, we have for all village stuff.
Right.
We have a contract with them that so that's gonna work with them to see that if we can go to maybe an internet-based system with Comcast.
Voice over IP or something like that, yeah.
Right, because we always have had trouble with the phone service going down, so we want to get something that works. So there will be an expenditures there, and the money's in the capital fund, so it will be expandable when we do the new building. Okay? So if you have any questions on that, let Claudette know, and she'll tell you where we're at. But I think we've made a decision on which way we're gonna go with the Comcast and then buy the phone system. So, okay? Good. Mr. Keel?
The wreaths look good.
The wreaths look good? Well, thank you. Fresh wreaths.
I like this Merry Christmas too.
Okay,
Not Susan's greetings, Merry Christmas.
I do too.
One more thing. One, the board, or whoever changed Halloween to a Sunday, that didn't go over too good with some of the folks.
We did a survey. Did you answer the survey?
I didn't get it.
It's online, right, isn't it? Yeah. Survey?
Yeah, survey's online. And it'll be in the newsletter
And
going
it'll
out.
be in the
Should
newsletter that'll
to go
probably
to
out
do the
in a
survey.
week, right? It'll be out next week. won't it?
Yeah.
It'll be in the newsletter this week.
Not even that last weekend.
Right. So,
We had more kids this year than ever. We had almost 40 kids.
was that bad?
Record breaking for us.
Yeah. We did too. But, you know.
They cut into my candy, for goodness sakes.
Now we get down to it.
You know, sometimes you get the same kids that will come twice.
Kids are kids, that's all.
Kids are kids. But it's those big kids you gotta watch, you know.
Don't mess with the kids.
Don't mess with the kids.
They get you.
So there is a survey out there. We've had a lot of positive feedback, a lot of negative feedback, and most of that has been from people outside the village because of the confusion that it causes. You know, they said, well, how come we can't do it on that Sunday? So.
Go for it.
But, they can.
Yeah, what do we?
Yeah, what do we care, you know? But
I had a lady suggest to me that we should have made it for all of District 12.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, so, well, we don't have a say over all of District 12. Ringwood?
Ringwood, yeah.
Hey, Ringwood.
Well, Ringwood changed theirs to Saturday and then changed it back to Halloween, so then they really had confusion. I understand, so, more confusion than we had. So. But I mean, you know, we'll see what the survey does, and we have time to look at it, and we'll talk to Ringwood maybe, talk to Rick, maybe he would like to do the same thing, and see where it comes from, you know? And I don't know, the school district could say, hey, Halloween is that day, and not like they have the authority to do it, but, you know.
Help advertise.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody would be in for it, they'd be in for it. But that's the biggest complaint I had, is the people that were out of the village were saying, why can't we do it? And go ahead and do it, we don't, you know, we don't care, but we don't have the, so. What was the feedback you got, good or bad?
Mixed.
Mixed. But you had more kids than ever. There, so. Okay.
Well, a lot of the Nixon's parochial schools didn't,
The what?
the parochial school kids came on Halloween.
They didn't know, huh?
I presume they were notified, but
Hey,
whatever.
now,
So, it's just,
Don't know.
It's a pagan.
I don't wanna get into that. Okay. Okay, well, the survey's out there, it's in the newsletter, it's on the website, so we'll see what happens, and we maybe can, you know, talk to Ringwoods, talk to the school district, maybe, we'll see what happens. Let's see what the survey says first.
Just let me know so I get more candy.
Pardon me?
Just let me know so I have enough candy.
Okay.
Enough pennies.
Well, you can always give out dollar bills,
Chocolate
Warren,
journal.
nobody
Oh,
cares.
sure.
Changing things.
Charlie Brown rack.
The kids appreciate that, you know. Okay. Anything else?
When Kyle's going past that.
Entertain a motion to adjourn. I mean, Kyle looks like he's in pain.
So moved.
So moved.
I'll second.
There you go. Motion by trustee Curry, seconded by trustee Frost. On the roll, trustee Curry?
Aye.
Trustee Hagan?
Aye.
Trustee Frost?
Aye.
Trustee Crumpside?
Aye.
Motion carried. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.